Hey, welcome everybody. This is Share a Beer 326.
Yeah.
Got Dave and Mark here,
Hola.
and
Hello.
having a little interesting discussion on weather, natural disasters, I guess, in your local area. um,
It basically comes down to when do you stop drinking beer and go high? I mean,
exactly.
yeah.
Hmm that's what it comes down to. Yeah. Now, Dave's in an area where they get a lot of tornadoes, and so is Mark. Um, Here in Phoenix, as far as I know, from what I hear, like all you get down here is just monsoons, which is pretty similar to what we got in Albuquerque. So far, the monsoons I've experienced here in Arizona, um, and I have traveled here over the last 7 years during their monsoon season as well. So, and they're just not as bad as they are in Albuquerque, but um, they have different trees and stuff down here, and palm trees, of course. And in my opinion, it just seems like the trees are a lot more fragile because the branches will fall off of trees in a heartbeat here, man. It's just like, when I go on my walks, I'm real careful of that because you'll just see tree branches and you're like, holy crap, that fell. You know what I'm saying? And, I was just walking this morning. Like sometimes I can walk in the morning and I'll walk in the afternoon again, and there'll be a couple branches fall. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? And they're just sitting on the ground because they haven't got to them to pick them up yet. And so when you do get a monsoon, which bring 40 to 50 mile an hour winds or stuff, there's just stuff everywhere here. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
The streets will be just branches and stuff. But I keep in mind that I'm like, man, these trees fall apart anyway. Like, I don't know,
Hmm.
because we have in Albuquerque we had 20 to 40 mile an hour winds is an average day, let alone monsoon season. And things are just like the trees just don't fall apart for any old reason. They'll come out of the ground, don't get me wrong, for,
Hmm.
during some serious winds. But don't get me wrong, there will be trees falling over, but
Hmm.
it just,
Man, that speaking of the trees falling over, if you ever get a chance, like we got the floods here, so the ground will get saturated, and there's huge oak trees and maple trees and that kind of thing around here, and if a lot of times they'll grow around, along the riverbank, and if the water stays or if the bank stays saturated for a long enough time, it'll loosen up that root structure, and them trees will fall over. Basically, it'll fall over in the river, but the huge root ball will be visible, so you can
Hmm.
actually get pretty close to it and check it out. And I took a real good picture of one time, and then actually brought it home and studied that picture. Man, there is some stuff happening down there in the root ball
Hmm.
of the tree. And it makes for a great pictures when you see flood damage. You hate to say it, but you
Yeah.
can get through, and a flood is, you can see like park benches out with where they're in the middle, they're 40 feet out, and there's a park bench just sitting there. Well, there's not a park bench that sits 40 feet out in the water. They
Hmm.
make for great photo opportunities. And that picture I took of that tree that had fallen over, and you could see the entire root structure of that tree from the bottom side. It's something you
Hmm.
don't normally get to see. Man, it was just phenomenal looking at all the stuff going on down under there.
And it's big. I mean, we get the same thing. We get big trees like that, and when the ground gets saturated, yeah, they just fall over.
Yeah, trees that have been there for 50 years.
Hmm.
Somehow that was enough for them.
Yep. Yep. Well, we have those tall, skinny pine trees, and they don't like a lot of really strong wind,
No,
and they'll just snap. They'll snap halfway up and topple
yeah.
over and that type of stuff.
I think
So,
a lot of times with those is they twist. They
yeah.
get caught in swirling winds, and they,
Yep.
around here anyway. Which I assume if you're dealing with tornadoes and things like that,
Yep.
it's
Oh,
probably
yeah.
the same
Same
deal.
thing here. Yeah.
It's not necessarily that they're getting blown over. A lot of times, like especially if it's up high, they'll twist, and
Hmm.
they're just not as strong that way. I despise those. There's a lot of pine trees around here too. God, I hate them those.
Yeah.
They make a mess.
yeah, the one thing they get down here that we didn't get in Albuquerque was those hebobs,
Oh.
those just giant sandstorms.
Hmm.
And you can just see them coming, man. It's a trip. They just like You know, the ones I was in last year weren't that bad, but you know, you can get some severe winds out of some of them.
I
You
was
know,
gonna say, man, that's got to do some sandblast damage there. That's got to be ripping paint off cars and stuff there, I would think.
yeah, I don't know.
It lasts for long.
Yeah, if it lasts, yeah, but you can just see it, man. I mean, you can literally look outside your window and watch it go by. It's a trip.
Yeah, just a huge cloud of sand.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It is that part is a trip. Um, I also went to. I know some people are eating better and doing all this stuff and going to different. What do you call some of them stores like Trader Joe's and
Hmm.
what's the other very popular one? That's like
Whole Foods.
Whole Foods. Yeah, you've got like that type of store. Well, I went to one called Sprouts. Finally, that's.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we
So
had one of those that showed up. That they put a few here last year.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
They're popular, and I think they might be a little cheaper than Whole Foods.
Yeah, that's their picture. Kind of in between. To us, it seems like they're between Trader Joe's and Whole Foods.
Yeah,
They're kind of in the middle.
yeah. So that's what it seemed like to me. I went in there, and we had them in Albuquerque too, but I just didn't ever get a chance to get to one, and it took me this long to get to the one that's down the street from me here. But yeah, they had some good stuff in there, man. That's kind of what started that conversation with me and Dave. Was I liked their seafood selection in there. I'm not a big shelled fish guy. I'm not really into crab or shrimp or anything like that. I'll try it. You make it for me, I'll try it. But you better like it, because if I don't like it, you know what I'm saying? You just made a bunch of shrimp for nothing. But I will have like a nice fillet of some cod or salmon, or not so much swordfish. I'm not a big swordfish. You like swordfish, Mark?
I do. Pretty much almost all seafood I like. I mean, crabs, shrimp, scallops, oysters, mussels, snails.
Yeah.
Mussels. Slug embryos.
Yeah, slug embryos, exactly, yeah.
I know nothing about slug embryos.
That is, yeah, we're going to have to venture out on another Google search of slug embryos, see where we fell to. What were we last time?
We were like 2, I think.
We were number 2.
I'm doing it right now. Let's see.
Dave, we were number 1 in the Google search for slug embryos, I have you know.
Nice.
Yeah, you got to be number 1 at something.
Number
Google.
1 is nice.
And we were the number 2, so it's been easily over.
Show number 290. I know absolutely nothing about slug embryos. 13th, 2014.
So now we are, anybody searching for slug embryos sees us number 3 in the search, man.
Yeah.
Boom!
We're right above modularity and reshuffling of snail and slug expressions.
We are probably actually right above some very good scientific research.
Yeah, real
for
science.
slug embryos.
Not pretend fake science like us.
Yeah. Not pretend made up science So I'm sure people tuned in to hear that, when they're wanting to find out about some good beers. So what do you having, Dave?
I'm drinking a Maximus Lagunitas.
Oh,
Maximus,
very nice.
Limited release something or another, and just so happened to be drinking it in a nice Lagunitas glass.
That's summertime right there, man. That is to me the definition of summertime. You have a glass like that on a rocking chair on a porch somewhere, where it's humid and you're fighting off flies and mosquitoes. You can't say mosquitoes. It's mosquitoes in America.
Yeah, mosquitoes are going to be huge around here this year. That's for sure. All this water sitting around.
You're going to be carrying small dogs off. Keep your dogs inside. The mosquitoes are going to get them.
But what's also nice too about them type of stores getting quickly, just real quickly, is that if you do have one in your area, they more than likely are going to have a really good selection of craft beer. The Sprouts that I went to only had one of those refrigerators that are open. They don't have glass or nothing, and they basically had, well, I guess 2 of them. They had 2 of those, and they literally had 12 packs or 6 packs stacked behind each other, and that was all the room they had because they're trying to give you as many beers as they can in their selection. They literally had this, some of the first times you see this when you go into those type of stores. They literally had one little 12-pack thing for Budweiser, one little 12-pack thing for Bud Light, and then I think they had Miller Lite.
Wow.
That was it.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think they might have had 4 macros in there. The
Okay.
whole 2 things that they had are those open type of cases
Mm-hmm.
where it was packed with craft beer, just
That's
packed.
good.
So that's what those type of stores do.
Mhm.
They do, they want to bring you the more local products, or something that's made more organically, or what I'm saying. And so macros are
Organic macro.
So what do you got, Mark?
Well, I just finished. All I got left is a cap for my growler. This beer called Bibo.
Bibo.
It's a lager from a brewery here in Atlanta called Creature Comforts. So it was kind of I guess it was a Pilsner. It was supposed to be a Pilsner. It was pretty tasty.
Was it lemony, or?
It was a little lemony, but it also had that kind of little bit of bready flavors to it.
Really?
Kind of like if you like a German Pilsner has
Oh, yeah. Okay.
floral and a little bit, and it was pretty close to that. It was pretty tasty, and it's all gone.
Real clean and refreshing though. Was it real light?
Yeah, like 5.5% ABV.
Yeah.
And I got a bottle of this Boulevard unfiltered wheat to drink. That's my next one. I'm drinking light. I've got to go out after this and get my steps in to get my goal for the day. So I got to go out and walk for like 25 minutes to get my steps. So I figure go light and then come back and drink the big beer if I want. But
yeah, I know how that is.
You don't take one with you?
I could actually, but wonder what they would do. I don't know. I could put it in like a sippy cup.
Yeah. You'd have to go stealth cup on some of them, because
definitely. Yeah.
some local laws would frown on.
It would definitely be broken there, but yeah.
Open
As long as it was a light beer, It's my Gatorade. It's my sports drink.
That is like a Gatorade, yeah. I think the Gatorade version would be some of those lemonade mix type of.
Like a shandy, like a Rattler or a shandy. I mean,
there you go.
Like a liney summer shandy.
I'm surprised some of those aren't mixed with Gatorade or something, right? Well, they did try to mix some of them with energy drinks, right? You had Budweiser. I don't know any craft beers that came out with anything mixed with an energy drink, but I know Budweiser did. It was even in a tall, kind of skinny can.
Looking like a Red Bull.
Yeah, and it just had the big B on it, if I remember right. It was a dark can. Yeah, I never did try it. Did you ever get around to trying it?
No, I never tried it.
That was a couple years ago, was it? I don't even know if they still.
That got shot down quick, didn't it? Somebody didn't like that.
Almost as quick as the American Ale. It still pisses me off. It's still a sore spot with me, because they came out with that American Ale. I loved it. Some people didn't. I understand that. But I loved it. I was a huge fan. And then they got rid of that and came out with that Black Crown crap that they still have.
Yeah.
I think that the energy drink
American Ale is a lot better.
Oh.
I think that energy drink thing was a kid thing, though. I think that was more, got shut down with politics and stuff. If I remember right, there was a big stink about it when they started doing it, because they were packaging it like energy drinks, and I think kids were getting a hold of it, or they probably weren't. They were probably just afraid kids were going to get a hold of it, because it looked like an energy drink or something. There was something like that going on with it. Yeah,
well, like the Four Loko and all that stuff, the cans, all the colors that they had in the cans, that raised a big stink too. Yeah. And they're still selling them, but it's a lot less bright. The colors are just more subdued now. It doesn't look like like Arizona tea, like Arizona iced tea, those types of things. I mean, that's
Hmm.
what the Four Loko cans kind of reminded me of. So
No, I've never been an energy drinker. As a matter of fact, I've had two in my life so far. I've had
They're horrible.
two Red Bulls,
I've never had a Red Bull. Never had one.
and that's all I've ever had. Uh, I used to know someone that was one of their reps that would drive around in the Red Bull little truck or whatever, and so
Mm.
that's why I've had two in my life. But yeah, I'm not a big energy drink person. Oh wait, no, I have to take that back. I did try a 5 hour energy recently. Since I've been here, I tried a 5 hour. It was one of those days when I was super tired. If you've ever been anywhere near a truck stop, they have them things at the counter.
Yeah.
And so I was like, you know what? Screw it, man. I'm gonna try one of these damn things.
Yeah.
Mix that with something, please, because
Sleep preferably. That just makes your body all upside down, man. I got a horrible 5 hour energy story that I could tell, but man, I thought I was gonna save a road trip with 5 hour energy, man, and it made it fucking terrifying.
Is it 5 hour hallucination?
No, well, kind of, but I was working third shift, and me and my daughter were going up north, almost to Canada, Minnesota. It was like a 11-hour drive or something from here, and I was working third shift. I got off, and I was going to get some sleep, and then we were going to leave. But of course, we were excited. So as soon as I get off, we decided we are just going to take off. Of course, my daughter, I think at the time she was I think she was 18, 19 years old. And of course, as soon as we leave town, I feed her breakfast, and she just immediately falls asleep. So I had been working all night long. I think we were even working 10 or 12-hour days or something. It was a long shift, and I'm leaving, and we're booking up there to Minnesota, and I get up around, I don't know where it was, Duluth, up around Duluth, where it started getting crazy, and I was tired. I mean, I hadn't slept, and it was too dangerous. I probably shouldn't have been on the road, but we pulled into this rest stop, and they had 5-hour energy in the vending machine at the rest stop, and I had never had it before. I'm not huge on those kind of caffeine drinks and energy type things anyway, but I thought, well, I only got a few more hours to go. I'll slam half of one of these, and then that'll do it. And I took that. I drank half of that thing, and right as it started, doing its thing that shouldn't. No human body should have that done to it. Whatever that does to the human body, especially when you're sleep deprived and you've been driving for 8 hours already or whatever it was, I get into Duluth, and it is just crazy traffic, and there's construction everywhere, and I'm trying to not kill my daughter, who's in the thing next to me, and it was horrifying. I will never do that again.
So it was like some really bad acid.
Yeah, I mean it really was, and I'm fine with most chemicals. I really don't have a problem with them. I mean I'm not like our special guest a couple weeks ago, but I'm usually I'm okay with chemicals and things, but that was just, I don't know, that affected me in a bad way on that particular day at that particular time, and it taught me a lesson. Don't try to save your day with 5-hour energy. I figured, well, I got about 5 hours left is kind of what I figured. I'm like, this will do it. Yeah. No, it makes that last 5 hours really terrifying.
Yeah.
For me it did. I mean, there must be some people who really dig it, because they sell the shit out of it. I mean,
it ain't going anywhere, I'll tell you right now.
Yeah. I've never had one. I don't think I ever will.
Yeah, it I think it kept me awake, but I mean I didn't have a out of body experience like that. But other than it tasting bad, it didn't really hit me, hard. But like that. But I think it did keep me awake though. But yeah, it was one of those same kind of scenarios. Tired, and
I'll just try this. This will work.
Right. Yeah. I tried one. I think they had a special. I think they had 2 for $3 or something at that time.
Yeah, me too, yeah.
And so I said, I'll give it a shot. And other than it being, it just tasted horrible. But yeah, that was my experience. And now I just have like almonds or something to try to stay away. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, and especially in that particular part, I could have drank a beer and been fine probably for the next 4 hours. You know,
Whoa.
I should have just went that.
I'm not gonna recommend that.
Well, I'm not saying I'm gonna drink 6 beers, but I could have uprighted myself with probably a chicken sandwich and a glass of water. Would have done me just fine to get through the rest of the trip.
Yeah.
You know, a beer probably not sit down and go drinking before you finish the trip, but you know, just something. You know, something normal that my body's used to, you know, would have been fine to save that rest of that trip. But it was not 5 Hour Energy, wasn't it? And I mean, if we're missing the 5 Hour Energy sponsor, so be it, because Barack is coming on, and we're good.
Dude, now that you mentioned that, right? I forgot about it. You mentioned
that. Ain't it?
We have been in talks with the White House here, and I think he's going to come to the hotel here and do it. How cool is that? Did you hear about that, Mark? He did that interview with the podcaster in his garage. Now,
they got a pretty cool garage, though.
Yeah, well, see, you guys watch more news, so you could tell me about it, I'm sure.
I didn't even hear about it. I don't even know.
He did, what was it, Sunday or Monday or something?
Yeah.
And he did this interview. I don't know how he ended up picking that that podcaster to do the interview with, but the whole controversy was he dropped the N-word in the interview, and everybody's been all like, come on, you know, he's the president, he can pretty much say whatever the hell he wants to say.
Yeah, well, he was trying to make a point.
He was trying to make a point. And everybody just got all bent out of shape. But yeah, the podcaster, I mean, I don't know what was the name of the podcast? I've never heard of the guy before.
I have no idea. All I heard was just about how he, picked the podcaster. That's all I heard. Mm-hmm. And I just, heard that he was just some, regular kind of podcaster, really. I mean, he's gotten more popular now, but
he's probably shitting bricks now. It's like that commercial that used to be out a long time ago with the people are setting up their little ad space online or whatever, and they click the button, and all of a sudden all the numbers go crazy, and they're going, "Oh shit, what do we do now?" Yeah. I mean, that's probably what he's doing.
I would love to invite the president to share a beer. I mean, really. You don't even have to. There doesn't have to be any Secret Service involved. Heck, you can do it from your White House if you want. Your little old White House. You pick the room.
We'll come out. Yeah, we'll come out to the White House.
Yeah, well, and we can do what we do. We'll have a special invitation for someone in the White House, I guess. If he wants to jump in 7 p.m. Eastern, I mean, have at it. I would hope that he would be able to possibly mail some of that White House beer so we can try some of it.
Special delivery White House beer. Yeah.
Are they still making that, or did they quit making that?
I think they're still making it. They're still brewing.
Because they had 4 beers, right? If I remember right. Did they have 2 or 4? I think they had 4.
Yeah, I think they did. I think they did have 4. Oh, the podcast is WTF with Mark Marone.
WTF, yeah. And I think that, now that you mention it, I think that's what I heard.
Oh, I've listened to that one before.
Oh, you have?
Is he just like general, like, news of the day type stuff?
It's been a couple years. I used to be really big into podcasts and listen to a lot of them. And it must be...
Says he's a comedian.
Yeah, when I was listening to him, I was listening to a lot of, like, Adam Carolla and, it was mostly comedy, with, there was some news in there as well. But yeah, WTF was one of the ones I listened to a few times. I don't remember anything particular.
Okay. Yeah, well, he's got a pretty nice, pretty good little studio setup. If it's in his garage,
he's been around for a long time. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's making a living doing it. Or at least most of a living. More of a living now that he interviewed the president.
Hey, well, if he's looking for a bunch of amateurs, man.
Yeah, I mean, really.
Here.
I mean, here we are. You know what I'm saying?
Grassroots.
And he does like to have a beer, so, if he wanted to have a beer in the safety of his own home or airplane.
Plus, we'll just hang out.
or in the helicopter. I mean,
Well, I think we need Air Force One. I think it needs to be an Air Force One. I mean, he's got like secure satellite transmission.
Yeah.
He'd probably get like 28 gazillion gigabits per second from Air Force One. So he'd probably come in. He probably wouldn't have any feedback problems like Barrick, like the other Barrick.
The other
has.
Barrick. I was going to mention that as well, but I didn't want to go there because he's not here. It's funner when he's here, I guess. But
It's funner when he's here.
I was going to mention technical difficulties with which Barack would have better.
Yeah. The other Barack, it'd be cool to have them both in the room. Now, I wonder if Google would start to, kind of give him problems since he's in the same room with Mark.
Oh, that's probably he'd probably get deleted off Google. Yeah.
If we
He'd
had
be
Mark,
responsible for the president getting deleted off the internet.
yeah, I mean, and the next thing you know, he's no longer president, which would make some people happy, I suppose. They would finally say, "Oh, it's justice." But if Zach and Mark are in the room with the president, I think that would be it, right?
Probably just blow up the internet. Yeah.
No, but really, I think we've put that invitation out there before, and I mean, if the president wants to join, man, I mean, we've had all kinds in here. I mean, why not have the president? I mean,
bring him on. We'll share a beer.
Yeah. Now, Dave, how wide a range is that? Due to the fact that our guest of a couple weeks ago.
We cover pretty much. The whole thing.
The whole spectrum, yeah.
Right. That's a pretty wide range right there, isn't it? Like that says right there that everyone's welcome, right? Like that's pretty much. But I have, due to that, if that happens again, it's a select group of people that get invited weekly. I'm telling you, because that was a bit extreme. But
now, speaking of, you got to add the president to the circle, Share a Beer circle, so he'll get the invite. He's on Google Plus, I'm sure.
That's probably. I would assume that's the problem. Is
add him to the circle. Actually, if he's not getting the invite, how's he going to show up? I mean,
that's true. Yeah, you're absolutely. A matter of fact,
check the Q&A. There's already one guy on there saying, "Is his tag name Big Bear?"
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. I forgot about the.
Oh yeah, we've been just going
it's
crazy.
It's probably like this guy says he can, but he can't get in. So maybe that's the same problem with Obama.
Okay, yeah, Big Bear. Yeah, he said there's some sprouts in Kansas City area.
I got the invite, but it's not letting me join the conversation.
Yeah, I have to admit, because I jumped into Mark's show as well, and I've jumped into some others, and it's still not. Man, they need to clean that up somehow. I mean, what are we, 2 years into this Google Plus thing or so?
Yeah, I guess it's better than what we've had in the past, but yeah, there's still things that just don't make sense. It's kind of like there's some stuff that's just ass backwards, with the invites and stuff.
And then Bum says he's still working on his 2015 Sam Adams long shot case. Dude, did you see that? That reminds me. Did you see that series on Sam Adams? It was on the History Channel. It's basically about the Declaration of Independence. It was the Sons of Liberty.
Yep, I did watch that. Good show.
I just watched that this weekend, and that was pretty good.
Yep. That was available.
The real Sam Adams, not the brewery.
Right, yeah. Okay. The actual guy, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was available on their History has a channel on the Roku player that it was available on there.
Oh, okay. I'll check it out because I have. I'll go on Roku and take a look at that. That sounds cool. So was the guy? Was it like really? There was a lot of intrigue and stuff, probably.
Yeah. Well, John Adams helped, make the Declaration of Independence. I mean, he was, one of the leaders of the stuff that was happening in Boston, actually.
Yeah.
So it was a really good show. It was a 3-part miniseries. It was really good.
Check it out.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, you do research on those people that were like signed the Declaration of Independence. Like we live in Gwinnett County, and we're like, well, Gwinnett, and so we went to Savannah a few years ago and kind of took the history tour of downtown Savannah. Kind of what's going on, and I guess Gwinnett County is named for this guy by the name of Button Gwinnett. and he was the youngest signer of the Declaration of Independence. He was 22 years old or something like that. But he died in a duel in Savannah. He got in a duel and he got shot and he got gangrene and died.
Wow.
It's like
Well,
weird.
Yeah, that was one thing that if I remember correctly, it's been a while since I watched it. The show's been around for a while, but if I remember right, I remember thinking by the time it was done, and I don't know if they meant to portray this or if it was, and how you never know how accurate these types of things are. I assume it was fairly accurate anyway, but it made me think, wow, these cats had no fucking clue what they were doing.
Yeah.
Right. They just knew they had to do something. But
Right.
they really didn't have a clue
No.
what the hell they were doing.
Uh-uh.
They were winging it.
They
literally.
like, well, we'll figure it out later, but we got to do something. Yeah.
Literally. And
they're still doing that.
And there's
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
Really, I mean, with a lot of, they may be a little more educated about certain things, but really, yeah, I mean, there's simple things like that you do medical wise as well, like having a baby. You would think that they would know so much stuff, but there's so many different little things that can happen to you while you're having a baby or trying to have a baby, and the doctors just shrug shoulders and they go, "We don't know." Like that's the part of stuff we just don't. You know what I'm saying? And it trips you out because you think of all the things that we do know and the stuff that you hear that we know, and they just, I don't know. They're like flip a coin. Shit, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe yes, maybe no. We'll
Yeah.
see.
Exactly. Yeah. So it is a trip, man, and especially with the military. Yeah. What is unique about? Well, I don't know if it's unique, but what is funny too about the military, I know from my brief experience in the military, is they will act like they know.
Oh yes, that's federal government there. Yeah,
they're really good at acting like they know what they're doing. But
it kind of goes along. If you look like you know what you're doing, people let you get away with more stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it's but they actually don't have a clue, and they're like, oh, but
they seem to kind of operate under the. It's easier to beg for forgiveness than ask for permission.
Yeah.
They do that a lot in the federal government. That's true.
Well, it's kind of my principle, like in parenting. That's a lot easier for me to tell you no right now, and then yes later, than it is yes and then a no later.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier for me to.
Once you get to yes, it's really hard to get back.
There's too many letters involved there, right?
Right. You can't take away a letter.
Yeah, it's easier to start with two letters and then give one back.
Yeah. And with no, you can always back it up with because I'm the parent. It doesn't matter what my reasons are. You can always back it up
because I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
That doesn't work so well.
Yeah. Yes, because because I said so.
Yeah.
Followed up with that. Some of that. So let's talk about one of these subjects that I had posted here. The top reasons beer is actually good for you. Did you see that one I posted in the
No.
in the show? I don't know, is that show notes or what is that in the
invite?
In the show invite deal there? Yeah. The top reasons beer is actually good for you. Let me share my screen here so we can at least have that. And let's see, share.
Tastes good. Does that count?
There's one, a decreased incidence of heart disease.
Okay.
Let's see. There are more than 20 well-done, large international studies. They don't name them. Oh, yeah. Conducted by the National Institute of Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism, noted that a 20 to 40% decrease in coronary artery disease in moderate alcohol drinkers. So that's moderate. Yeah. That's the key right there, is moderate.
I actually had a doctor tell me probably 15 years ago or so. At the time, I wasn't drinking at all, basically. And I went to get a bunch, and he says, "You don't drink much, do you?" And I said, "No, not very much at all. You should really start drinking a little more." And it really shocked me that he actually said that,
Yeah. But they consider what moderate drinking is like 2 drinks for men and 1 for women or something like that.
Something like that, yeah. It's not a whole hell of a lot, but it's
Is
still.
that the same as 2 bombers for men? And,
Yeah, sure. Why not?
That's a drink. That's a big glass. If I get my Andre the Giant mug out, that's 1 glass.
That's 1 glass, exactly.
I'm probably close to average too, but the problem is that I save a whole lot of them, like Wednesday, Thursday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then I drink them all on Friday.
Yeah.
Instead of 2, but it averages.
It's like the Christmas club, at the bank. You just save a little bit and then spend it all at once.
Exactly like that, yeah.
See, and then your number 2 is hops have vitamins. A Dutch study shows a 30% increase in vitamin B in beer drinkers.
Mm-hmm.
Them hops on that picture look delicious.
Don't they?
Just have a bite of those.
And then alcohol is an antioxidant, which may contribute in part to the decrease in heart disease.
So basically, you got to drink IPAs with the extra hops. You need extra hops. You got to drink IPAs.
Apparently, yeah. So it's and then number 3 is a decrease in kidney stones. The Journal of what is that? Epidometry, or I don't know. Some journal revealed a 40% decrease.
Bunch of guys in white coats.
Yeah, a bunch of guys in white coats.
Make a lot of money.
That make a lot more money than me.
Yeah, whatever that word is, if you're one of those dudes.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. A 40% decrease in kidney stones among beer drinkers. This is most likely secondary to the dehydration from beer, since we don't note a familiar finding with other alcohol consumption. So, and then special benefits for female drinkers.
More children.
It helps you look better, right?
Yeah.
Like if it that's your benefit.
No, that's for the guy. Guy's got to drink more, and the women look better.
Yeah. So the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition says beer helps prevent a decrease in bone density. Beer is also high in flavonoids.
Now wait a minute. Okay, go ahead. Never mind. I won't go there.
I think I know where you're going with that.
They all say I'm big boned. If you're talking about bone density, you don't really want big boned. Not that it's not acceptable, but see, I shouldn't.
Oh, okay.
I won't go there. Yeah.
I was worried you were going somewhere else with that. So that would be good for women, but not so good for men. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And there's another term for that ain't so technical either. It's
Yeah, see, I shouldn't know. It's just too touchy. Everybody's dancing, trying to not do it. Except Mark, of course. He just always sit there. Everybody else just drown themselves. Just let them. Just go ahead, you guys.
Whatever.
Drown yourself. I'll still be
Jump in the pool. The water's fine.
Yeah, you guys are on that island alone right there, huh? Yeah. We also have one on, and I thought this one was actually interesting. There's a brewery using the music of Wu-Tang Clan to age a beer. It's a real short story. At Philadelphia's Dock Street Brewery, they have a smartphone playing Wu-Tang Clan from Spotify. I don't know why they put Spotify in there, but they did. And it's fastened. They have a quick little 10-second video. You can play that on there. And they have it fastened to the actual barrel that they have it aging in. And it's pretty interesting. What the head brewer is saying, it's an experiment to see if the base would cause enough vibration to move the yeast around and create some different flavors during fermentation. So it's a pretty interesting.
I've heard of Wu-Tang Clan.
Get out! Come on.
They ain't nothing to fuck with, from what I hear.
You never heard of
hip hop group? Okay, all right.
Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing. Okay. Wu-Tang Clan's the one that the guy who was lopped his junk off and jumped out the window.
He did.
He did. He did
Oh
it.
my God! Yes, he did.
Oh.
Yeah. He. Yeah, that was a bad. Talk about your bad experience of 5 Hour Energy.
Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whoa.
Flopped it off and jumped out the window.
Yeah. Now, had that been a
I
3-hour energy, maybe he'd have made it. Maybe
Maybe he made it.
they'll. But it was a 5-hour, and that was
Did, Mark did actually say he's never heard of Wu-Tang Clan, right?
never have.
He did say
Are
that.
you serious?
I am dead serious.
Wow. I
That's-
can't even.
That's
Wow.
huge.
Yeah, because they are big. They were big. They're not big now.
I don't
But-
think that, were they ever really that big or just, I think
Oh
very,
my God!
was it
yes.
controversial? Because their music, I mean, in my opinion, is really not that good.
No,
But,
me neither.
I mean, for
but they were big.
their name was big.
They
I
were
don't,
big. I mean,
Yeah.
they had their clothing line. It was
yes,
I mean,
yes.
dude, they were.
Their scene was big, but
Yeah,
1993 was their first album.
yeah, they were huge in the '90s, bro.
they were a big part of the Chappelle show, too. I remember that.
Oh.
Dude, because they were huge. They really were, man. They were big.
Huh.
Their scene and their name was, I don't know about their music wasn't.
No, I'm not
I
saying.
mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what I'm trying to say there, but
So
their
which
scene
album should I get? If I get it
No.
on vinyl, which one should I get?
on vinyl.
On vinyl.
That just doesn't seem like something you're gonna spin up on vinyl.
Well, all of them except their last one are released on LP. So I'm.
How about System of a Down? You've heard of them, right?
Yeah.
They've covered one of their songs, and it's better than any of the Wu-Tang Clan
Okay.
songs. Shame. Oh, I can't say it. There's dirty words and things in it. We'll say shame on a Barack Obama faux pas or whatever.
Okay. All right.
Who brings shame on a same thing.
Okay.
Is the System of a Down's name song. That was a big song.
Okay. I will.
I don't know that I'd buy a whole album, man. I really don't. I wouldn't.
Save my money.
You might want to YouTube that one.
Or maybe they're on Spotify. They probably are.
While we're talking about music, were you done, Joe? Or
Yeah, no, it was like I say, it was a really short article. It was just basically that, but that's just a different way of innovation in beer. Like he's trying to see.
So basically, we're going to start getting brewmasters like hooking up subwoofers to the kettles.
no.
Yeah, I mean he's trying to see if the vibration, from the bass would move the yeast around and create some. I mean he's just trying stuff.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like
That's all part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, on the music thing and talking about Spotify, I know we geeked out on Amazon for a little while last week. I don't want to extend it if nobody else does, but have either of you? I know Joe's an Amazon guy. I can't remember where Mark yet was an Amazon guy, but have either of you tried their music service?
Oh yeah, I do.
It's part of your Prime. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. I mean, not only do they have the radio stations, but they also have an old thing, kind of like the Rhapsody. I don't know if you guys dealt with Rhapsody at all back in the day, but as long as you were paying Rhapsody $10 or $15 a month, whatever it was, you could download these entire albums to your music devices and listen to them. It was basically like buy them as long as you kept paying their monthly fee, and that's part of your Amazon Prime membership there. They have a service similar. I mean, they also have the radio stations like Pandora and Amazon Music or iTunes Music and all those, but Amazon also has and I just learned about that. I didn't know they even did that. I just started messing with that like a week or so ago, and it seems like a great service.
Really? Have they added? I knew they've had it around for a couple of years. Have they added a lot more stuff to it? I think when it first started off, it didn't have a lot. But.
Yeah, I don't know. A lot of your bigger bands, I know, like Metallica's not going to be there. Like the guys that fight music piracy and stuff, they just aren't going to be there. They never will. And they were never on Rhapsody or any of that stuff too. But
yeah,
I've found a lot of content to listen to, and then the radio stations ain't half bad. The ones that I've listened to that. There's no DJs or nothing. It's more like a Pandora type radio station, But okay. Anyway, I just wanted to touch on that. If you guys had
it's a decent service. I kind of mix a lot of them. Like I stream a lot of audio, if you can imagine. So I use a combination of the music the stations that are mixed in with the iPhone already,
Mm-hmm.
Apple's music service, and AOL's music service, and Amazon's music service, a little Pandora, and a little iHeartRadio.
Yeah.
They,
Wow.
they they all have their own little strengths and
Mhm.
weaknesses. I I like the way AOL. The only reason I use AOL is for one, I like their comedy channel better, and then I do like the way they mix in. They have like a favorites channel, so everything that you've favorited that you've been listening to, it'll just mix up those songs and those comedies. So it's kind of nice to me to tune in there, and then stuff that I favorited. So it's just huge mix of music. So if you've
Mm-hmm.
listened to different stations, rock, a little R&B, a little rap, a little whatever, jazz. It's
Mm-hmm.
mixing in all your favorites that you favorited, and then I listen to comedy as well, and I favorite that. And it's a nice break from the music to get all of a sudden you get this comedian come in, and it's
Right.
just, and I play that during a lot of my photo shoots, and it just keeps the mood light,
It's
because
kind
you
of
just,
like the iPod you wish you had.
yeah,
Like you had actually bought all this stuff and it was just randomly playing
right.
things.
And
Yeah.
it's pretty cool. I like that about the AOL. They don't have the largest music selection though.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, they all have their strengths and weaknesses. I like iHeartRadio because iHeartRadio owns a lot of radio stations, so I
Yeah.
actually listen to a lot of live radio on iHeartRadio.
iHeartRadio for me is really good at making you really mad at your local radio stations because iHeartRadio, from what if I'm getting the gist of it, I've dug into it a little bit, but it basically broadcasts radio stations over the internet from across the
Mm-hmm.
country. It doesn't like make up songs and playlists.
No, they
And
do.
so
They do that too.
that they probably do that too. Okay, but from what I've seen, the main part of it is you can get other things as well. Basically radio stations from across the country, and the radio here is really, really horrible. Really horrible. It's either country or it's what they call classic rock, which now should be called band antique rock, which nobody should ever listen to
Yeah.
in the world. And that's all it is, and it's the same 4 Led Zeppelin songs over and over and
Yeah.
over.
Yeah.
So
You got
get on iHeartRadio.
a playlist of probably 150 songs. And
Yeah.
That's about it.
And if you get on iHeartRadio, you can find one which you guys have a bigger area than I listen to, so you probably have better or different radio stations. But I can get on, like, there's one on iHeartRadio that I really like called Gen X Radio, and I listen to that, and the songs are, it's not all my favorite music, but it keeps you moving. It's a good station, and then if you listen to it enough, you go, you know what? They got the same 100 songs that they play over and over and over. It's just a different 100 songs. So
Mhm.
that's kind of opened my eyes to the whole radio thing. Even though you wish you had a better radio station, they're still going to play the same songs over and over and over again.
Well, that's the thing. Like if you drive enough and you stream enough audio like I do, I have a ton of podcasts that I listen to, but I
Mm-hmm.
will frequently run out of them, and quite frankly, if I listen to too many podcasts some nights, and that last night was one of them, I have to listen to music to kind of wake me up again, because dear God, you just fall asleep. So, I mean, even Pandora, for whatever station you make, you'll notice it plays over again. You
Mhm.
just, I don't care what the service is. They have a select 25 to 30 songs that they play, and eventually you're going to get back to it again, and it's going to play them over again. And so that's why I mix up the different services so much as well. And I'll listen to Pandora for a little bit, and then I'll notice that they're playing it over again, and so I'll switch to iHeartRadio, and I have a
Mhm.
crap ton of stuff on iHeartRadio that I'll listen to. I'll listen to some live stations. I mix in my sports, and then sometimes we'll mix in ESPN on my
Mhm.
iPhone. They have Apple Music has the live feed of ESPN from the East Coast.
You must go through a crap load of data, don't you?
I have
So,
unlimited data. I'm one of those
oh, okay.
plans that AT&T has been dying to get rid of, and I can
Yeah,
have that discussion with you because
yeah,
they've been sending out text messages, emails, everything to try to get me and others like me off of the service because I do
yeah.
listen to a lot of tech shows, and they've been in full assault on us. But
Mm-hmm.
you ain't getting me off it. I don't care. I do pay it's $103 with taxes and stuff, but you ain't getting me off it
Yeah.
because I do not worry about my data. And then now the government fined them, so we'll see how that all works
Yeah, for
out. But
throttling. For
I had
throttling
heard
data.
that T-Mobile was not charging data for streaming services like that. Whether it's what the little asterisks and the things about it are, I don't know because I don't use T-Mobile. But I had heard that like Pandora and music streaming sites, they were not
Huh.
counting that towards your data plan.
oh man, I stream. You wouldn't believe, Dave. Because I stream Netflix, I stream.
Oh yeah, I can imagine if you're in a
You,
truck for 8 hours a day. Besides your home life, you've got to be just burning through the data. Which
yeah, I stream every night. You know what I'm saying? Every night, at least probably with audio streaming, probably 3 hours a night at least. You
Mm-hmm.
know, at least because I have my set podcasts that I listen to, and some of my podcasts I'll be listening to here in a minute. Some of them I'll put on because their audio levels suck, quite frankly. A lot of the ESPN shows I listen to, their audio levels just suck, and they're really hard to listen to in a truck because trucks, well, at least my truck tends to be loud, and so it can be hard to hear if your tone is too low, and so I'll listen to some of them here while I'm getting ready or something like that, getting ready for work. The main one that I have to listen to here is Tony Kornheiser. I love Tony Kornheiser and Michael Wilbon. So Kornheiser has his show out of D.C. and what I like about what he does, and I kind of follow him, believe it or not, like as far as what I think I should be doing with this show, because I like that he's not just pure sports, and that's what I try to get at with what we do here. Like I don't want to be just pure beer. To me, that's just boring, and that's the way he feels about it with sports. Like he's a sports writer, or was, but and that's kind of what he's known for, and that's what I'm sure I'll be known for here is beer. But there's just more to it. He'll mix in, since he's in Washington D.C., he'll mix in a little politics. He loves movies, so he mixes in movie reviews. He loves like theater and stuff like that, so he mixes in that. I'm not so into musicals, but yeah, whatever. And just other things that pop up, like he'll mix in. You know what I'm saying? I love it. I love that. I love that it's not just sports. Yeah. And then when it comes down to sports, he knows what he's talking about. Of course, I love the mix. I love that it's not just pure sports because I get tired of it. I love sports, but at the same time, you do get overload on anything, right?
Exactly.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
But he's one of the shows that I try to model mine after a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Kind of influences this show a little bit, and Leo Laporte also influences me, what I do online. Has forever. I've been doing a podcast or this video streaming since 2004.
Yeah.
And I have used Leo Laporte's model for most of it. So he has had a heavy influence on what I do and me even doing this, quite frankly. So it's
you need to get out there and do a road trip and go out and watch a show.
I know. I don't know if I'll go, but hey Zach, how you doing, buddy?
Pretty good.
Hey,
just thought I'd say hey before the show wrapped up.
Oh, welcome. You've been busy the last couple weeks. Bombers.
Yeah, we just brewed the first batch on the 7-barrel today, so I'm just getting to head home from.
Sweet. What did you brew?
We did a Belgian Pale Ale that we put some orange peel, lemon, and coriander in.
Oh, okay.
So that's gonna be really zingy or tangy or
Perfect for summer.
yeah.
So, yeah, and then this weekend was the 1-year anniversary, so that was fun.
Wow. Huh?
Been a year already.
Already, I remember all the heartache, man, all the delays.
Oh yeah, they're still all there. I'm still
All the
fine.
paperwork.
Yeah.
Yeah, paperwork's still there too.
Yeah, the frustration of not knowing when you're going to be able to even set up or open or.
Oh yeah, it's always something, but you know, the anniversary felt exactly like opening, so
Yeah. That's good. That's what you wanted.
but it was fun, you know, we released our first set of bombers, we released 4 different bombers, we released a bunch of barrel-aged beers, it was fun.
So, did you have a special one-off anniversary beer that you might do once a year?
We'll do something barrel-aged every year, I think.
But nothing based on the anniversary?
Not this year, we just ran out of time this year, just trying to get everything done and dealing with contractors and this and that, you know, just one of them things.
Yeah, absolutely. But so that is the intention, though, to have a one-off, maybe our barley wine or something once a year.
Oh yeah, we'll brew something every year. Might be our milk stout that we do, the creme brulee. We'll do a different barrel-aged one of that or something every year.
Sounds delicious, man. I know Mark's the only one of us that have been there, but I look forward to getting up there soon.
Mark can still hold his own, that is for sure.
I set a record. See, I'm legend.
I was watching Untapped while he was doing that, and I was like, holy crap. And he said, they're only 10 ounces. Sam, 10 ounces?
It's only 120 ounces of beer.
He did them across the board, you know, I think it was probably, 140 ounces or something?
Something like that, yeah.
I mean, it was good. He's lucky Pam could drive.
Oh, man. And I was lucky that I finished at 5 o'clock or whatever, because I got back and moved around for a few hours and went to sleep, and I was fine by 7 in the morning. The next morning when we woke up to drive, I was okay. But
I think pizza and French fries also help.
oh, that was a savior. That's what. Yeah. Having a bad Sunday. But it was good. Very good beer. I had fun.
We ran through them all, so.
Yeah. I'm maybe one of the few to drink all 12 in one sitting.
Yeah, do you have like a wall of fame for people that drink all 12?
Well, typically we have 16 on tap. Not a lot of. I've done all 16 in a 10 ounce in a day, and it takes a lot of work. But most people just want to do 4 ounce pours. Not many people want to do the 10 ounce taster.
I love the way that it's defined as work.
Work, man.
It's a lot of work.
It's a job. Tough job. Somebody's got to do it, though.
That's a lot of work to get through all 16, man. Yeah. I love that it's defined as work. Yeah.
Mark, what do you think your favorite was?
Oh,
Bud Light Lime.
If I can remember them all.
It was the Limerita.
Yeah, the Limerita. That was it.
For sure. There's no doubt about that.
You gave me a little taste of the barrel-aged creme brulee, which was very, very good.
Yeah, that one was fun.
That's the one you tapped the next week, I think.
We tapped this weekend, yeah.
Yeah. The peppercorn was good. I think peppercorn was very solid. The what was it? The comedy one?
Yeah.
That was pretty good. The pale ale was very, very tasty. Just, I mean, across the board, just real good stuff.
I'm interested in that peppercorn.
Now, that was the one you brewed for, not necessarily for your daughter, I guess, but in respect to your daughter or whatever, correct?
No, the one that we do for my daughter is a pink pepper, or not a pink pepper, pineapple wee heavy.
Oh, okay, never mind. My fault.
That'll be out in August.
Okay, for birthday.
The pink peppercorn is just that's probably our #1 seller.
Mm-hmm. It's a very tasty beer. No, it was fun just to see everybody kind of coming and going, and people coming in getting growlers, people coming down, having a beer or two, getting a growler. Steady stream of people coming and going.
Well, we're gonna have to go, man. Because I can't hear anything.
Yeah, come on up. Gotta come for the beer festival.
Oh, the GABF?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll be able to make it for that.
It's a party in itself.
Is it really? When? That is when?
It'll be the last weekend of September.
Yeah, see, I will not be able to come for that. I can guarantee that because that's when my grandson's supposed to be born. So I have to save. It'll definitely be after September because that's
yeah, you
when
gotta save some time then.
Yeah. So we better go, Zach, because I can't hear anything.
It's starting to rain, so.
Fun stuff. Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I'll see you next time.
All right,
man.
See you, Zach. Take care.
Yeah.
See you, Dave. See you, Joe.
Yeah. I have a quick tip. If you want
yes.
to give me like 2 minutes.
Dave's tips
for our audience. For our audience, if they want to save a little bit of money, and somebody may already know this trick. This is not a trick you're probably going to get away with at a huge craft beer retailer, but I was at the store the other day, and this Firestone Walker beverage here, which is very tasty, about $13 for a 4-pack locally here. If you know what you're buying and you check the singles, I got a lot of places have these pick a mix 6s. They got them for around here they're $8.99 or $7.99 depending on which store you're at. They had this Firestone Walker beer, which is Wiki Jack. It's a delicious beer, in the pick a mix 6 for $7.99. So check that. If you know what you're buying, I'm not saying it's exactly ethical, but if they're going to sell it for that, I'll buy it for that.
4-pack of 13 or pick your own 6 for $8.
Exactly. Beer tip of the week. Save a ton of cash. It happens. It's the second time it's happened to me. So.
Oh yeah.
That is funny, and I bet you some of them don't even think about that. That is funny.
Nope.
Yeah.
I haven't even thought about that actually. That
is a great tip because you just like single. There's a 4-pack of this really good beer. I guess I'll get that.
You know what's funny is now that I think about it, I've bought 3 before in those 6-packs. I have bought like 3.
Yep.
And then mixed another one with another 3 beers that I like. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I have done that.
I don't know. It just makes you feel so good inside. I don't know why. I really don't. But it just does.
That's funny. That's a good tip, though. Yeah, it's. I mean,
check the pick a 6.
Yeah, if you're looking to save $1, heck, a lot of even grocery stores even have those.
That's where I got it from, was a grocery store.
Yeah, a lot of them even have that. Special little. Yeah, you're right, man.
It was $5 cheaper. And it was 6 instead of 4.
That's true. So it's more than $5 cheaper.
Yeah.
It's like you won the lottery, except for the $40 million, but it's pretty close.
Right.
Heck, that's half price, actually. That's half price, isn't it? More?
Killer deal. Tip of the week.
Wow. Try it and let us know how it goes. All right, Dave. Thanks for the tip, man. That's a damn good tip.
That is very good.
Yeah, because I hadn't really thought about that, but it makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I know I've basically kind of done that in a way, so that's a good tip.
Very good.
All right, man. Peace out,
guys.
man.
See you guys. Take care.
Bye.